to my channel. Tonight it's a different video, but it's actually makeup related, so there's something. I thought it would be fun. I know that people have done this before, and you know, it was like a trend a while back, but I wanted to do it for myself. I thought it would be fun to recreate how I did my makeup in high school on one side of my face, and then on the other side of my face do it how I do it now, and kind of see what's changed, how many more products I use, because I know I use a lot more than I used to, and kind of see the end result. And I think it was a glow up, in my opinion, on the makeup side at least. I mean, I put on some weight, but anyways, I thought this would be a fun video, and if you want to see the end result, just keep on watching. So the first thing I do in my routine now is prime. And just in case anybody cares how I do my makeup, I'm going to tell you the products I use currently, like nowadays, because I honestly couldn't tell you what I used back in the day. But on this side, I'm going to try and use as much drugstore as possible, because let's be real, I was using drugstore in high school. So I have the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I have the little mini because it's really expensive, and I wanted to make sure I liked it before I bought a big size, because like when I say really expensive, I mean like really expensive. Yeah, so that's what I do as far as primer. I'm gonna try and keep it only on half of my face. So back in high school, I didn't use a primer. I'm sure they existed, but I didn't know anything about them, so I didn't use one. So that was easy. So next, I do foundation. And how I do it currently is I apply it with a damp beauty blender. I have to shake mine up because this one, like, you have to shake up every time you use it. It gets like kind of separated, but I use the Fenty Beauty in the shade 160. I used to use 190, but then I found this one and it's a better match. So I apply it with a beauty blender all over my face. I don't worry too much about getting it like super under my eyes because I conceal there. I drag it, I make sure to drag it up in my hairline. And I normally like to do 2 layers because we just need that. We just need some full coverage in our life. So we're back. We have our current side, and our high school side has nothing on it. Like I said, we wore no primer back in the day, but I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy Plus Smooth. It's darker than my skin color, which I was pretty notorious for back in the day. I didn't know it myself, but looking back on pictures, yeah. And if beauty blenders were a thing, I did not know about them. I used a brush that would have looked something like this. It wouldn't have been a Morphe brush. Pretty sure I had like a Mary Kay brush because my mom's friend sold it. But yeah, so I would have just, with no purpose, smoothed it right on. But I would have used way more. That looks about more right. So let's just paint our face. Another thing that I used to do was, if it was looking like splotchy or not blended very well, I would use my fingers a lot, which I don't do anymore. Look at that like line down the middle. So if it, like the brush always did because I didn't know what I was doing, but if it looked more splotchy than normal, I would go in with the brush, pound it on there, and then kind of. And sometimes, like, if I couldn't find a brush, I'd just do my whole foundation like this. But yeah. Oh, and I would never pull it down my neck, ever, or my ears. I would just have the notorious orange line. I was that person. Dear Lord, why? So yeah, that's how I would do my foundation. A lot less full coverage and a lot less blended. I don't know if you can tell. Next up, we have concealer. Nowadays, I use the KKW in the shade 2, and I go under my eyes like that. I do my chin, do my nose, and I do my forehead to like highlight. So I take my other sponge. So add concealer anywhere that I need extra concealing, or that I just want it brightened up and like more attention to. See, we are looking a lot more highlighted and brightened. I also have to do this a lot because I am horrible at shade matching, so I will have to lighten my foundation by concealing, and it works. It does, you guys. It really does. This side already, I can tell you, is looking a lot more full coverage, a lot more covering in general. I used to never pull stuff back into my hairline. I now try and get my ears, my neck, which I never did back in the day, ever. And for concealer on the other side, I actually did do concealer, but it was literally, and I actually did use this. I'll go like that. And like a little half moon type deal. Wait, I would have not used a sponge. I would have used my fingers. Sorry about that, folks. How that just took over right then. Now, like nowadays, I bring it over my eyelid as well to act like a primer for my eyeshadow, but I did not do this back in the day. I did not know about priming at all. Obviously didn't use it for my face, so why would I think about it for my eyelids? But this is what we have. What are y'all thinking? What were you thinking so far? What's your side? What side do you pick? I'm looking very cakey on this side right now, but it will all come together in the end, I promise. So, nextly, nowadays I do what's called baking, not involving a kitchen, and I take the Huda Beauty, I don't even know what this is called, Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. I use the shade Sugar Cookie. This is new, but I've like really super fallen in love with it, and I love it, love it. I'm not gonna get anything out with the protective cover on, Kelly. Like, come on. Be smart on video at least. Okay, so now I do what's called baking. And before I do that, I always go back in and make sure that everything I concealed is not creased. Because if it's creased and you bake it, you will set the creasing. So you can either take your finger, which I will do still from time to time. I have a little bit more concealing I would like to do right here. And I do have to do this a lot because after it dries, I'll notice that I want a little more coverage. You know, if it's been a day where I just did not sleep as well as I thought I did, you know? So I will take my sponge, make sure there's no creases, dip the damp sponge that I use for my concealer in the powder, coat it like so, and then press the powder under my eye. But yeah, so I just do it on my forehead. It looks really not pretty, but it does the job, y'all. Like, this is what we care about, the job getting done. And back in the day, I did not bake, but I did use a lot of powder. And I'm gonna use the Fit Me powder to go along with my drugstore side. And I always use powder with like color to it because I wanted like even more orangeness, I guess. But I didn't like worry about just putting it in certain spots. I just went in with the powder. Didn't dust it off any, I just... Do you hear that? I need a new chair. And for these next few steps, it was stuff that I didn't do in the past. I did use bronzer, so there's a few things that I used to do. Where's my brush? So now I take my bronzer, I go in, like swirl, tap off the excess, and I work my way up, blending upwards. Because if you drag down, it can get kind of muddy, which I've learned the hard way. So always knocking off the excess, and I'll pull it up to my forehead where all my little baby hairs like to still show, and I'll make sure I pull it good, like really good into my hairline. And it's okay if the line, like your jawline, isn't perfect, because I'll show you what I do next. I have to do this because I'm not great at makeup, so we have to know how to fix stuff when it gets a little crazy. And for the high school side, I just went in, like, pretty sure I didn't knock anything off, and I went like this. I didn't like swirl, I just like pressed it in. Only on my cheeks, but like my whole cheek, because I didn't know where it was supposed to go. So I just, and I would just want to look orange, you know? Like living my best Oompa Loompa life. And I just think I used it to like make myself feel tanner, but only on the cheek, you know? Like my whole like face really, but not my forehead, just my face. Do you see it? So that's what I would do with my bronzer on my 2014 side. Blush is the thing that nowadays I use sparingly. So I take a brush like this, I dab in, knock it, go in one more time, knock it, press it on the back of my hand just to make sure, and I will kind of like stipple it into my face just to add a little warmth. And it's probably not even enough that you'll be able to see like crazy on camera, but I'd rather like build up. Now, however, on my high school side, let me use the bronzer one. I would do it the same way I would do my bronzer, but I would go heavy. Heavier than the bronzer, like the blush would overpower. But I would keep this one more on the apples of my cheeks. I would do the whole like that, because I thought that was like the way. So we would be very, very pink. Very pink, you guys. popping in really quick to let you know this is how I clean up my contour, bronzer, whatever you want to call it. I would just do a line up my jawbone, like where I want it to be defined, just to clean up if the bronzer or whatever went a little too far. You leave this on for a few minutes and you dust it off, and whenever you dust it off, it's clean and crisp. So there's that. So next is eyes. I did on this side, as you saw, I did my baking on under the contour area. I added some highlight. What else did I do? And I sprayed my Fix Plus, which is my most favorite part of my routine. It kind of syncs everything together, and if everything is to ever look heavy, it just soaks it all together, which I did not use back in the day. So yeah, just throwing that out. So next we have eyes. Nowadays with eyes, on a normal, like, everyday basis, I will use like a regular brown color. Let me show you what I mean. Don't judge me for this one like missing. I have a replacement one, but I don't see the need in like opening it until I need it. But I use this color in my crease area almost every day, and it just kind of gives some dimension, you know what I'm saying? Then I take the lighter color right here and I put it along the bottom of my lid area, and I kind of bring it in with the brown. So after I put that in, always tapping off the excess because you don't want like fallout. Nobody wants that. So I kind of bring it together like that, and then what I do is mix both of those colors together and swiggle it all. On my high school side, I did not use brushes. Oh, by the way, this is all I do on a daily basis with my eyeshadow. I like to keep it simple. Not much of an eyeshadow person. It scares me. That's just the honest truth. It used to be all about some shimmer, white, the whitest shimmer I could get in my inner corner. Like, it was my thing. I loved it. I look back on so many pictures when I was kind of like researching for this video, and it was just repetitive. I loved it. It was my stuff, y'all. It was iconic for me. So let's do it. So I would just take it and rub it all up in there.
I put a little bit on my lid, but I would have it like that.
Honestly, truly, I would keep it like that. Like, that's how I liked it. I thought it looked like alive. I don't know, but I wanted it. Bang! Next, cringeworthy. Cringeworthy, you guys. I would do liquid liner on the top of my eye, but I wouldn't do like a wing. I would just do it. I wouldn't carry it all the way into the shimmer. I would do it to the shimmer to like right here, just a straight like thick line, because I thought it made my lashes look thicker. I truly did. And I look back on pictures and I'm like, why? Why? And if you'll see, it went higher than I anticipated, which would always happen. So I would take a white eyeshadow. What I used on my other side will work. And I would take my finger and put over the line like so. So I would clean it up where I thought you couldn't see it. And then I would take a brown with my finger and press it over. And I thought this made it like where you couldn't see that I messed up anymore, but I'm almost positive that wasn't the case. And I loved a good dark, like unblended outer corner. So I would take like a dark, like in that range kind of color, and go like this. Exactly like this. Oh my gosh, I'm having like such flashbacks. And pull it all on my eye. And this is what I would do. Oh my god, y'all, why? And this would make my eyeliner look dull. So I would have to go back and redo the eyeliner line, but try and be really still, because you know I couldn't just be really still the first time. So it would always be kind of like low, like that. I would try and clean it up, but oh my god, this is freaking flashback central. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. In your head, you're thinking, Kelly, you're just trying to roast your high school self. But honestly, truly, like this was it. Like I would live and die for this, like back in the day. Like with my fingers. Sometimes I'd do it in class, you know, when I wasn't falling asleep, because I was that person. That always there, always. So yeah. What y'all think so far? We're almost finished. A very iconic part to my makeup look would be my black like eyeliner in my waterline. Now I don't have an eyeliner I could use in my waterline because you can't like use liquid, but I'm going to try and use this brush and a black eyeshadow to kind of recreate the effect. But I wore it every day. Now I never ever wear it. I just think it makes my eyes look so small, and it's just not a look for me anymore. Like it's just not. I do my brows now. I didn't used to in high school, which makes me sad, because like it's if my brows aren't at least brushed like with a spoolie every day, I don't feel like I'm living my best life. And I would just leave them like all messed up like that. Like, look at the difference from just this side to this side, just brushing it. So we're back. I had to free up some storage, and while I did that, I drug some of the same color eyeshadow on my bottom, like, of my waterline. I like doing that because it makes it look like connected and together. So right now I'm going to throw some brow gel on. Last but not least, lips. Nowadays I am into a nude lip, and I think it's in my purse. Be right back. Nowadays I am a nude lip kind of girl. I love me a nude lipstick, and I like just regular ones. I'm not good at using like liquid lipsticks. So let's do that. Back in the day, I was more of a glossy lip, and I don't know why I like pink gloss because I hate pink, but I would just thick it. It would be thick, like stringy thick, like lip gloss. So if I've learned anything from this video, it's been that just because I use more products now, it looks more natural than the less products I used to use heavily. So tell me what you guys think. Don't tell me if you like the high school version better, because that would hurt my feelings. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna take you in regular lighting so you can see the real truth, the harsh truth. Hey guys, so we're finishing up in the harsh bathroom lighting. It's out of the ring light, so you get to see everything a little bit better. And I know this is a very soft look, but this is what I used to do every day in high school, so I wanted to portray a everyday look that I do now. So yeah, I just wanted to show you in real lighting what the real look is like. So tell me what you think. Anyways, it's actually, it could be worse. Not cute at all, but it could definitely be worse, and my current makeup could be better. So there's that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Like, bye.